Now tonight I have the pleasure to introduce tonight's guest speaker, City Council Member Shawn O'Connell. Now Shawn is no stranger to the city. Before becoming a city council member, he spent over 10 years with the Rialto Police Department, where he quickly rose through the ranks, achieving the rank of police sergeant. There's much more I could tell you about Council Member O'Connell, but I'm going to stop here because I'm sure he'll tell you his own story. Ladies and gentlemen, City Council Member, brother in law enforcement, and a dear friend of mine, Shawn O'Connell.
Thank you, sir. Can you guys hear me? The reason why I'd like to thank Police Chief Farrar, City Administrator Mike Story, Mayor Pro Tem, Councilwoman, and the staff. I'd also like to recognize the men and women to my left who have dedicated an amazing amount of time to have an impact on you. I'm going to have a chance to speak with you directly. I'm going to give you a story that has never been told except to a very few group of people, a story that's true, and the story is mine. I grew up poor. How poor? During the winter we'd go to shovel snow and go to the local grocery store and buy crackers and bread so that we had extra amount of food to eat. From there, when I was 15 years old, my twin brother was killed by a drunk driver. There are certain moments in time, and what I try to do is learn from those moments. What I learned from that moment was that family was very important. I also learned from that moment was my parents asked for forgiveness for the 18-year-old that ended up killing them. I didn't understand it at the time, but I understand it now. The next moment for me was when I was 18 years old, when my mom was killed by a drunk driver. That was the most significant moment for me. Why? Because it taught me that going forward, I remember sitting in the back of the limo, looking through the rear window and seeing a long line of cars. I realized her life meant something. I realized that she changed somebody's life. And I pledged at that time to do the same. I moved to California shortly thereafter and tried to become a police officer. I wasn't successful. They weren't hiring. I put myself through a police academy, working full-time, going to a part-time academy. They still weren't hiring me. Finally, I was lucky and fortunate enough to get picked up by the Rialto Police Department. I was on for about 10 years when, on 2004, October 29th, I got thrown from an ATV, landed on my head and breaking my neck. Well, I was conscious the whole time, but when I got to the hospital, I had no use of my hands. I had to have somebody feed me, clothe me, wash me, and I was told that that's where I was going to be for the rest of my life. I was very fortunate enough that that's not the case. Corporal Muir ended up going with me to Moscow. We did some stem cell treatments. I was very fortunate enough to have a trainer for 6 years working with me, and I'm here right now as a city councilman. I spent the last 8.5 years trying to walk, and I realized I'm not. During that time, I mentored people that were in a wheelchair. I mentored people like you that belonged to gangs, that were just going down the wrong path, and very few people actually came to visit you after you got hurt. I was fortunate enough that I had true friends that actually stuck with me that whole time. If you think you have true friends, ask yourself this. They might come by in the beginning, but what happens a year later when you can't go out? Are they going to still be hanging with you? Finally, I've asked myself, or it's been asked for me, if I had a choice to be paralyzed or be a police officer, or not being paralyzed and not being a police officer, I would honestly say I would not change anything. There's going to be a few people out there that say, oh yeah, but the people that truly know me understand that that's the case. I will go one step further. If I had a choice to be sitting here right now and talking to you and being paralyzed, or not being paralyzed and not speaking with you, I wouldn't change a thing. The story ends here with my ability to talk to you. The whole story revolves around moments in time. This is your moment in time. We have 100,000 citizens in this city. Your class 7, 25 people, let's say 30, 210 people on average went through this class. 210 people have had a reset, a moment in time where they're going to make a difference. I really hope I'm speaking to a few of you who are going to take that opportunity to make a difference. You're going to fail, you're going to fall down, you get back up and keep doing something. Make a change, make a difference in somebody's lives as you go forward is all I ask. Class 7 is a great meeting. Thank you.